Welcome to Wisdom to Wealth, our sixth episode. And thank you for tuning in and joining us today. I'm Whitney Hammond, and I'm the owner of Sovereign Wealth Management. And joining me today is Teresa Pellizzari. She is the Financial Security Advisor at Sovereign Wealth Management. Teresa, hello.
Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone, Whitney, on this lovely day.
Keep chatting to us for a second because I just can't get us up here on the screen. So
look good on my end.
Yeah, so I can't see us as long as so you have us going live.
You're live. I can see you. I can see me.
Okay. Great. Well, we'll just carry on. So thank you everybody for joining us. We are trying to keep this show to 10 minutes every Wednesday and every Friday at noon. So whether you are getting started in your investment life, or you manage your money yourself, or you're working actively with a financial advisor, or you don't have a financial advisor, pick up tips from us 2 times a week. We're here to help. So we provide a roadmap to help you get control of your money versus your money having control of you. So we picked topics from our audience. And so our audience business owner came out to us a couple days ago and brought up a really good idea. So do you ever wonder why there are people that have their financial security all together, and then there's people who just seem to not be able to make ends meet? There's a word for this, and this was brought to our attention. So the word for this is archetype. I actually had to look that up in the dictionary. It confirmed my thinking and my belief of everything that I had always thought over the years, but I didn't know that there was an actual word for it. So let me read this to you. In literature, an archetype is a typical character, an action, or situation that seems to represent universal patterns of human nature. In finance, we have architects and how this fits into financial security. So Teresa, talk to us about the Martyr.
Okay, well, when I learned about the archetypes, I realized right out of the gate, I was a martyr for many years. That started with a very busy career, working 55, 60 hours a week, 6-day weeks. And by the time I got home, I really didn't have the energy to be doing any more planning for myself. I focused day in and day out on other people's succession planning and business planning, and that just exhausted me. So I did, when it came to my life at home, I spent much of the time coordinating kids' activities, living life, making sure my kids had everything, hockey, adventures, holidays, many other activities, looking after my mom who lives in the granny suite. And so one day I was at the gym sitting there, and in between sets, I was just pausing, and my mind said to myself, who are you? And I immediately pictured the Olympic rings. So when I got home, I got out a wine glass and I drew the Olympic rings. And this is what came very clear within seconds. I don't know if everyone can see that, but first I was a mother.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
So first I was a mother, then a wife, then a senior vice president, and a family friend, and then I was me. Then I started laughing out loud and said, wow, this is ridiculous. You know better. They tell you every time you get on a plane, put the oxygen mask on yourself first so you can help others. So I quickly drew an arrow and put myself first. So from that time on, I realized that I had been not focusing any of the time on myself, helping everyone else. And a big part of that was my finances. My husband at the time looked after our money. It was like driving down the highway with $100 bills flying out the window. And I realized that I needed to zone in on this. And so this has become a family exercise for us now for the last 5 or 6 years, where we spend every between Christmas and New Year's putting our plan together, drilling down into it so we can live with intention instead of working really hard and not paying attention to where the money's going. So yeah, I just took that time and put that focus a little bit back on myself first, which I continue to do. It allows me to help
Teresa,
others.
that's excellent. That's excellent. I noticed that people will do other things for other people, and then they'll sacrifice themselves. So this is exactly what you did. Then there's another one called the Avoidant Princess. Tell us about that one.
Okay, well, I fit that one really well. Again, everyone knows how hard I worked and how entitled I was because of that. And work hard, play hard was my theory. I did have a foundation of paying myself first. Every time I got a raise, a certain percentage went over to paying myself first. I accumulated that, but because I wasn't paying attention to the cash flow day in and day out, I would have to go into my savings to pay off the debt of the credit cards that I was accumulating because, you know, I worked hard. I deserved to spend anything and everything that I wanted to. And due to that lack of avoidance of really the mental math and avoiding how I was spending the money and paying attention to it, again, money was leaking out of my pockets. And I knew it. I knew it while I was doing it, but I avoided looking at the regular day-to-day bills. It was kind of boring. I didn't look at it for 20 years, to be honest. And,
Teresa,
yeah.
this is common. I think this is very common.
I know. I was a professional at it, by the way. And now I realize that with a cash flow plan into place, I can clearly see where my money's going. I monitor it a couple times a week. It's quite easy to do. And the most exciting part is my kids are 18 and 19. My son just finished college on Thursday. Saturday, we had a meeting. We sat down. We put his plan into place, his saving buckets. So he now has an RSP at the age of 19. He has his TFSA, he has his checking account, he has his savings account, and now he's looking to buy a brand new 2020 truck, which he was amazed that he can do all of that with his new job and his new career. So he is going to learn to spend with intention.
Okay, so this is good. So no better person to learn from than somebody who's been through this themselves. So you're teaching your children at a young age to not run the next 2-3 decades not paying attention to what's going on. This leads me to the victim role. It is everybody else's fault but my own. So this is a typical thing in life, and I'm not putting this down because we all have a little bit of victim in us, but we always have an external reason why things went off the rails. We fail to take ownership of what's going on. So and the person feels powerless, so they want other people to take care of them. So we bring these personalities to your attention because, first of all, they were brought to our attention by another business owner, and we see this in our practice, that there are these archetype personalities that show up, and they can all be dealt with, and the hurdle can be surpassed. So the other one is the innocent, and these people sometimes I see, they have no clue. They just have no idea what's going on. And they'll be almost in their mid-50s saying, a lot of times this happens to feast or famine, like somebody that may be on a commission income. It could be, let's use real estate, for example, where they'll have a big paycheck and then they'll use that. And then they'll have another one. And then all of a sudden it dries up. And so when they have those feisty times, they don't realize to put some money away. And building wealth is step by step. on a regular basis. So, so the innocent person is the ostrich. They like to put their head in the sand, and they don't know what's going on. They just don't see the reality around them, and they're easily overwhelmed with finance. So, and I feel bad in a situation like that. So it's really important to find somebody that you trust that can help you get over that hurdle. Because one day, you know, if you want to keep working until you're 75, go ahead and do it. But if something stops you from working, you're going to be in trouble. So lastly, I just want to close off quickly. We have more things to talk about, but we'll pick it up again on Friday because we're at the 10-minute mark. The squirrel. These are the clients that I deal with. I am a squirrel, and what that is that we work hard and we save and we save and we save, and then we don't know whether we're going to have enough in the future. So we just keep saving and saving and saving, and we never have enough. And this is a very common personality. So we'll pick this up on Friday. We have more personalities to talk about, and keep sending your questions, and we will continue to build our shows around that. Thank you for joining us. And Teresa, thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
We'll see you on Friday.
Have a good day.